This is a Secchi disc. It's used to determine the clarity of the water. So we drop the disc, continues to drop until it disappears, and we record the depth. Then we let it go all the way to the bottom, so we get a total depth. Total depth of 12 meters, 65 centimeters. And then we bring it back up, and when we see it again, that is when we've got our 2 Secchi readings. There we are. This is the WLLID Pro Solo machine that we use for determining the dissolved oxygen and temperature of the water in the water column. This is the instrument that reads it, and this is the sensor that we use. We go down every meter to get dissolved oxygen and temperatures. So let's show you how we do that. Once the sensor is calibrated, we go into the water and we take the temperature and the dissolved oxygen readings at the surface. So it always takes a couple of minutes for the machine to calibrate the numbers. The temperature number is usually a lot more solid than the dissolved oxygen number tends to bounce up and down. And what we do is essentially, when the dissolved oxygen number hits a static number and you can count to 5, then that's the number we use. So right now our surface temperature is 17.6 degrees Celsius, and our dissolved oxygen milligrams per liter is 8.25. The next stage of the process is then to take the cable, which is marked with yellow tape, at every meter. So at the top of the tape, that's the meter. So we drop it down to the top of the tape for our first meter reading, and we give it a couple of minutes to settle. Okay, temperature at 1 meter is 17.4 degrees Celsius, and the dissolved oxygen is 8.21. And then we'll take it down another meter. We will drop this sensor right down to within a meter of the bottom. That's why when we have the Secchi disc going, we take it all the way to the bottom so that we know what our total depth is, and then we know how far to drop the sensor so that it doesn't get into the mud at the bottom. Once we've taken the final reading at 1 meter above the bottom of the lake, we've recorded all the data, then we just start to wind up the cable and get it back onto the harness. And we also want to make sure that we're not damaging the sensor. And we leave it moist. There's a little wee sponge in the bottom here that needs to be moist to keep the sensor damp. Turn off the power, and everything goes back into the box. So all in all, it takes about an hour to come on out, do the Secchi reading, do all your 1 meter intervals to get temperature and dissolved oxygen numbers, record everything, and then we're done.